So today I wanted to talk about choosing your path and specifically about the moment when you decide to lead your life following the path of your heart, this path that um, is calling you to really create your own path, not a path that maybe you have known, maybe a life that somebody told you to live or that you believe you had to live because it has been done for generations and generations, perhaps because you believe that's what you're supposed to be and who you're supposed to be. And instead, start creating a life that is in alignment with your true essence, with your soul, and who you have come here to be, and to offer the gifts that are innately yours in the world, and start creating and building a new world here on planet Earth. And so I want to do this with a story and a sharing of a story personal story that happened a few weeks ago that will give you a better sense of what I'm speaking about and the difference between the truth choices, because moment to moment you're constantly choosing. You're choosing A or B in relationship to your beliefs, the beliefs of what you're capable of, the belief about the world, the belief about yourself, about others. Every time you're choosing and you're doing it constantly, even the moments when you're not making any choice, that's also a choice. The no choice is also a choice. It's in direct relationship to your belief system. And so if you are new to my channel, welcome. It's so lovely to have you here today. If you are returning to my channel, welcome back. Thank you for being part of this web of knowledge, of wisdom, of connecting to your soul and having these conversations that deepen our understanding to ourselves and to our true essence. And so I wanted to share this idea that every moment that you are choosing, you're choosing from your belief system. If I believe I'm not good enough, I'm going to be making certain choices in my life. If I believe I am enough just the way I am, I'm going to be making certain choices. If I believe the universe is an unfriendly universe, I'm going to make certain choices in my life. If I believe the universe is a friendly universe, I'm going to be making different choices in my life. So the process, and not the process, the purpose of all these conversations that we're having is to, what are these conversations that are opening possibilities for you? Perhaps there was a moment or something that created this interpretation where the world is an unfriendly universe. And so we go in, and through the stories that I'll share, you'll see that how is this closing possibilities for me, and what would it take for me to create a new sense of self from my true essence, and get to a place where I'm starting to learn and see and discover where the world is a friendly universe. So you can go from, unfriendly to friendly completely, from 100 to 100, but then starting the process on this journey of walking to feel, not only think, but to feel and know that the world is a friendly universe, because you're putting those lenses and you're living from that observer within yourself. But there's a journey in the believing that it's an unfriendly universe to a friendly universe. The process on the journey is starting to find the ways that the universe is a friendly universe to you in your day. And this is a practice you can integrate in your everyday life. If you're somebody that has placed those glasses, those filters of like the world is an unfriendly universe, because there's many reasons and many things out there that you can see and make that interpretation for yourself, then start this practice at the end of the day. just, a moment before you're going to sleep, you're in bed, and just take a moment to observe and take note and reevaluate in which ways the universe was a friendly universe today, and just make that list, start speaking it out loud and hearing yourself and feeling it and feeling it and feeling it until you start believing it, because it becomes part of your body, of who you are, of your the cells of your flesh. And so coming back to this sense of like we're constantly making choices, and the moment I have a choice to follow the path that my heart is calling me to take, that it means to be forging my own path and not following the path that perhaps I believe that I had to live, that I have to take. How many times, the doctors, that it's the family of doctors or the family of lawyers, because is the legacy of the family, until there's somebody there within the family that decides to do something different because they realize that it's not in alignment to their true essence and how they want to express their true essence in the world. And to take that leap of following your heart and differentiating, choosing something different than your tribe at, the reptile, the first brain here, it means, at the time it meant death, because the tribe would, you know expel you. And so there's still these understandings and these sensations that come from our brain, that the reptilian brain, our first brain, that are basically from the instinct, from pure survival. And so there's still a sense that when I go against my family, when I go against the belief system of a country, of whatever it is, there's a risk that I might die, because that gets activated, that when back in the day when your tribe kicked you out, you were alone in the wilderness, and you run a really big risk of not surviving it. So that still kicks in. And yet life is asking you to be yourself, to truly be yourselves, and to listen to that calling of your heart and bring your true essence into the world. We need your authentic voice in the world right now more than ever. And so I wanted to share this story because it happened a few weeks ago. For some of you that hear my channel, and for some of you who know me, I love the ocean. I'm right here in Mexico right now, and part of my daily practice and ceremony has been working with the water. This comes from like years and years and years. Um, and what it means to work with the water is just to connect with the water as a living consciousness, as a living being, and just in that cultivating of the relationship, I'm naturally allowing the vibration of the waters to awaken within it themselves. And I have it's interesting because as I have moved through this journey with the water, I have traveled in beautiful places, pristine places of water is so clean and pure that I can drink the water from the river, to places where it's not. But then slowly I'm beginning to feel how the water begins to awaken again, more and more each time I'm there, and sending blessings to the water and giving thanks and talking to the water. I just feel really I feel deeply connected to that work. I'm just feeling it right now. Um, and the importance of that. So I also, on a side note, I invite you to do that, to, take a moment when you're opening the tap of your shower, of drinking a glass of water, just giving thanks to the water. I really believe it's our next currency, and we need to love our water, the water within us, the water of life, the water that it's literally all around us. Just caring for it. And so I was getting into the ocean, and I was swimming in the ocean, and I usually swim, there's a beautiful bay, and I swim all the way out past the breaking of the waves. And so this I all of a sudden I had this stung, a jellyfish stung me all on my throat, and I could feel my throat burning, and I started to feel how my throat was beginning to like close up, and it was just burning. I was starting to get dizzy, my legs started to get kind of like jellyfish. And I remember I had this moment that it was probably like just a second where I had the decision, okay, my throat is closing up. I need to do something about here this because I'm in the middle of the ocean. And so in that moment, I made a decision. I started to float, and I started to focus on my breath. I started to breathe. I trusted myself. I trusted the ocean, that the ocean got me, and I trusted life. I trusted something larger than myself and this breath. And so as I was laying and breathing, there was this chatter in my head that was telling me, "What are you doing? What are you doing? Just start shouting and ask for help." And so it's like, if I start panicking, it's not serving me. And I was so far away, they weren't gonna help. They weren't gonna hear. They were gonna help, but they weren't gonna hear. And so as I'm breathing and I'm hearing this part of myself, I'm breathing and I'm also calming this part of myself that is very much, in fear and valid. And so as I'm breathing and I'm calming all of the parts of myself that are terrified, I'm also acknowledging the part that of the ocean that is holding me, the breath that is entering. And slowly my throat started to open up. The burning was still there, but I started to feel like my throat was opening up, and I started to feel less kind of dizzy and more in an alternate state. And so when I felt like it's like, okay, now all of a sudden the water told me, okay, now start swimming. And I started swimming back to the shore. And as I was swimming, I knew I was in this alternate state because I could see the water was like this beautiful rainbow. I was like swimming in this rainbow ocean. And I made it all the way back to the shore. And I remember I came out, and I asked the first person I saw, it's like, "Do I have something on my throat?" And this woman is like, "Yeah, you have a really bad sunburn on your throat." And I started laughing. It's like, "No, it's a jellyfish. It was a jellyfish." Anyways, I drank all water. I was fine. I'm still here. In fact, I went back into the ocean, and I didn't get stung again. And it was fascinating because the following day I went back, and when one of the people there were like, um, "There's no more jellyfish today." I'm like, "Great, I got stung really bad on my throat by one yesterday." And they're like, "Just one? You were swimming in an ocean of jellyfish." So look at the perspective, right? And also the magic, because I truly believed in the power of water, and there's this sense of becoming like water as well. And so then, somebody sees that I'm swimming in an ocean of jellyfish, and I'm just telling them that I got stung by one, and they're like, "What? How? By one? You were like surrounded by them." And so, in this story, what I wanna say is like, we always have a choice. In that moment, I had a choice. I had a choice to choose fear and to go into this voice and say, Help me." And it's fine not to say that, because very much so, it's important to know how to ask for help. I ask for help all the time, and it's a muscle that I know I'm strengthening, because I wasn't able in the past to ask for help, because I learned to do things on my own my whole life. And so the piece that I had a choice, which way path to go, One, that it was where my heart was calling me, where my soul was calling me, to be in the ocean, to be with the ocean, to be in communion with myself and with the ocean, with all the pieces and the resources that I know. And that's what I was guided to. And I trusted, and it requires a big, big, big amount of trust. And so I wanted to share this piece about sometimes the journey that you're being called to is gonna ask of you big things, to do big things that feel so, so big. And trust. Trust in your everyday cultivating that sacred relationship with yourself, with your soul, and with life, with the sacred within you and the sacred in all of life that is guiding you, that is supporting you, that is inviting you and wants you to be your true essence here on earth. And it's an everyday practice that it requires attention and care. All relationships require attention and care. The relationship with yourself and your soul, your true essence, requires attention and care every day. And so my question, and I leave you with this question: how do you wanna nourish your relationship with your true essence every day? And what are the things that you're believing about yourself, about others, and the world that make you choose things today that are not in service with your true essence, with the life that you want to have? And what little shifts, transformation you can create and implement in your life to start transforming that belief. As I was explaining, maybe it is at the end of the day just seeing the little things, how the universe was a friendly universe in your life, how you are worthy. Just start taking a list and inventory every single day. I hope this serves you. I see you on the next conversation with soul and heart, and sending you big, big love. Bye-bye.